actually join. Good morning, everyone, for 2 more minutes. We'll get started soon after the top of the hour here. If you're on now and can hear me, if you wouldn't mind putting in the chat your name and just your affiliation, that will be helpful with us with just taking attendance for the meeting and noting who's available. We'll still probably try to go around and introduce everybody unless we have a huge group, in which case that will take up way too much time. So this will give us a way to track who's here anyways. Thanks, Carissa and Michelle and Karen, Stephanie, Crystal. Jara. Well, welcome everyone. We're going to give people just a couple more minutes to get logged in. If you haven't already, please put your name and affiliation, what council you're with, maybe the place you work in the chat so we can use that as a reference. Hi, Tasha. We'll give people one more minute and then we'll start. All right, if you're just joining now, please put your name and affiliation with PCAIN, what council you're with in the chat. All right, we're at a couple minutes after 12, so let's get started. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate this. It's always a fun time to just connect with each other, see faces. I know we spend so much of our time communicating without seeing faces. That's always nice to see. So if you feel like you want to come off camera, fantastic. If not, and you're eating or doing something else, don't feel like you're have to. So if I don't know you already, my name is Jeff Whitman, and I'm the Director of Prevent Child Abuse Indiana, and I get the wonderful privilege of working with each of you in different child abuse prevention councils around the state. Currently, we have about 57 different councils around the state, so it's a great number of people that are doing this work. And part of the main reason that we have these meetings is not only to share information, but to create this sense of network that we're all doing this work in different parts of the state, so we can learn from and rely upon and really kind of expand and build this sense of collective impact through our work together. So thanks for being here. Um, what I'm going to do today is it looks like we have about 19 people logged in so far. So um, I'm going to try to navigate going around and talking to different people and having us introduce each other. So I'm going to go by my alphabetical list here. Carissa Miller, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. So I'm Carissa Miller, and I am now the president of Prevent Child Abuse Scott County.
Thanks, Carissa, for being here and for taking over. I know it's a lot for you down there with Michelle no longer being with us, but I appreciate you stepping in and standing in the gap there. Crystal Sisson?
Hello, I'm Crystal Sisson. I am with Holly's House, and Jara Dillingham has invited me to this meeting to learn more about PCA Indiana.
Thanks, Crystal. Danielle McMillan.
Hi, sorry, I'm off camera eating my lunch, but I'm Danielle McMillan with Harrison County Prevent Child Abuse. I am the president.
Thanks, Danielle. Donna with Holly's House.
Hi, I'm Donna Grant. I'm trying to get my chat and it's just spinning, so I apologize for that. I am with Holly's House, and I am also affiliated with JERA with the Vandenberg County and Warwick County PCA chapters.
Jared just invited all of her friends today. That's great. Let's see. Looks like Janelle Franks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Janelle Franks with Purdue Extension, and I am currently trying to figure out why my camera isn't working, but I'm here and I'm listening, so it's nice to meet you all.
And Janelle, which council are you involved with or associated with?
I'm Blackford County.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Heather Wildrick Holman.
Kind of going slow today. Hi, everybody. Heather Wildrick Coleman here with Stars for Children, the Prevent Child Abuse Council of Marion County. So, hello.
Thanks for being here, Heather.
Yeah, great to be
Kate
here.
Garrity.
Hi, I'm Kate Garrity. I'm the Executive Director of Child Care Network, which is the umbrella agency for Prevent Child Abuse in Jackson County.
Good to see you again, Kate. Melissa Peregrine.
Hi, I'm Melissa Peregrine. I'm the president of Pinwheel Promises of Hamilton County, which is the chapter in Hamilton County.
Thanks for being here, Melissa. Michelle Norman.
Hi, I'm Michelle Norman. I am with the Safe in Adams County group, and also work for a maternity home that's getting ready to open up. So just the first time I've been to one of these meetings, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, thanks for being here, Michelle. Michelle Zaremba.
I too, like Janelle, cannot figure out why you can't see me because my camera's on and my camera's uncovered. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm here. I'm Michelle Zaremba. I work with Mental Health America Wabash Valley region, and I am the media representative for the Carroll and White County Child Abuse Prevention Council. I'm the stand-in since our president couldn't be here today.
I appreciate you being here, Michelle. Thanks. Rachel, want to introduce yourself, please? Rachel Colclaser.
Sure. I'm Rachel Kalklaser. I'm the Senior Director of Prevention and Education at the Villages, and so oversee our PCAIN, Healthy Families, and Children's Village programs. So I'm excited to be here and share with you what we have going on.
Thanks, Rachel. Ray Caples.
All right, I just jumped on, so you'll have to tell me what it is that you need. I can tell you who I am. I'm Ray Caples. I'm the director for the Center for Nurturing Families at CAPS and Elkhart. What else you need? What's our check-in?
Because you're late, you have to sing I'm a Little Teapot?
Not happening.
Okay. Ray, good to have you here. Thanks for introducing yourself and for having a sense of humor. Let's see, we have Sarah Johnson.
Hello, Sarah Johnson. I'm up in Porter and LaPorte counties at Dunebrook.
Thanks, Sarah. Sherry Bell.
Yes, I'm the chairperson for Crawford County Prevent Child Abuse, called Pinwheel Partners, way down in southern Indiana.
Appreciate you being here, Sherry. Thanks. All right, so that's all. I know we had a couple other people pop in. I think Janet Baker might be one of them. Janet, can you introduce yourself?
No. Yes, sorry I'm late.
No worries.
Janet Baker, Janet Baker with Community Partners with Firefly Children and Family Alliance.
Thanks for being here, Janet. And Joanne McKenzie.
Oh, right. Hi, I'm Joanne McKenzie. I am president of Prevent Child Abuse, St. Joe County, Indiana.
Thanks, Joanne. Matt Wilson.
Hi, I am the executive director of Boone County Mentoring Partnership, the president of Prevent Child Abuse, Boone County, and I'm actually on the Kids First Trust Fund board.
Matt, thanks for being here. All right, anybody that has not introduced themselves, please come off mute and introduce yourself. I think we got most everyone, but.
Hey, Jera, you never. Oh, sorry.
Jera, I
Hi,
referenced you and then I just jumped right over you. I'm so sorry.
You did. No, I'm Jera Dillingham at USI, and I am president of Prevent Child Abuse Vanderburgh or at Gibson, and it's my pleasure to invite more people to expand leadership down here. So, yes.
Jera, sorry for my oversight, but thanks for your graciousness. Anybody else who has not introduced themselves?
I'm Karen Branch, the director of Montgomery County Youth Service Bureau, which is the umbrella agency for our Prevent Child Abuse.
Karen, thanks for joining us.
I am Stephanie Gardner. I am community liaison currently for Hancock for Kids. And after the first of the year, I'm taking over as one of the co-directors of Hancock for Kids, which is the Hancock County PCAIN chapter.
Thanks, Stephanie.
I think we still have Tasha Weaver that hasn't introduced herself.
I see Tasha on camera. I'm just not seeing her name pop up. There we are, Tasha. Hi.
I'm here. Tasha Weaver with Firefly Children and Family Alliance in Region 7. I'm representing Blackford, Jay County, and Wells County PCA today.
Thanks, Tasha.
And I think most everybody knows me. I'm Kathy King. I'm the administrative assistant here for Prevent Child Abuse Indiana.
All right. Nice showing today. It's 24 people. So that's I appreciate you all making time for us to connect and discuss what's going on at Prevent Child Abuse around the state. One of the first things that I guess I'm going to start with is and Kathy just introduced herself, but Kathy is leaving us at the end of December. And so she's served with Prevent Child Abuse for over 20 years. I think most of the 26 years she's been with the Villages, she's been with Prevent Child Abuse Indiana. So It is a huge loss for us, but Kathy is going on to do some wonderful, fun things in her retirement. And I want to thank her for her time. Kathy, is there anything that you want to say?
You're muted, Kathy. You clicked on and then clicked right back off.
Sorry about that. Not too much more to add. I've enjoyed working for Prevent Child Abuse Indiana and the Villages, and I enjoyed working with all of you. Councils are a gigantic part of PCAIN, and I'm anxious to leave, but I'm also, sad to miss out on all the great things you guys do. So I appreciate you very much.
We had a little going away, kind of a farewell for Kathy, and some former colleagues came by, and that was a real nice thing. That was last week. And Shannon Schumacher, the CEO and president of the Villages, brought up that if we, tried to calculate how many lives Kathy has impacted over the course of 26 years through the work of prevention, it would be just astronomical. So I know, tracking anything or calculating prevention is hard to do, but the work is meaningful. And our altruistic goal is to work ourselves out of a job. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll see that in our lifetime. But Kathy, thank you for all that you've done and for all that you've carried. And you get to pass the baton very soon to the next generation of child abuse prevention folks. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I just saw Sandy Runkle, and she said to tell everybody hi, that she's doing well.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we are in the midst of our chartering time for all of our councils. And every year between the months of October and the end of December, it's our rechartering period. So we try to get all of our councils rechartered for the coming year. And that if you're already a chartered council, that process can be pretty easy. If you go online to our website, you can do pretty much everything online, including paying online. And so it's pretty easy. If you're a brand new council, it's a little bit more difficult for the first year. And we've got paperwork there. If you're a newer council, take advantage of Kathy while she's here for the last couple of weeks, because she's been doing this for a long time and can help you navigate that process. But our rechartering period, again, is October through December. And this year it's slightly different. We have increased the costs for the first time in 17 years from $150, which it has been in the past, to $200 for chartering. And so over the past 17 years, we've been able to keep it the same, but with costs going up, we've made the decision that we have to kind of keep going up a little bit to allow us to keep doing business and not lose money with every chapter recharter. So, and if you're unable to charter before the end of December, there is a $50 late fee for that. So hopefully, if you are having trouble chartering before that, contact us, let us know. We'll try to help you out in whatever way we can to get the chartering done before the end of December. Our goal would be, if we can, to have all 92 counties in Indiana represented by a local child abuse prevention council. And while we have a great number in 56 councils, or 57, excuse me, representing 63 counties, we still got some work to do. So, please help us to expand our reach around our state and then hopefully across the country as well. Let's see. As part of our chartering in the past, we have included free boxes of pinwheels. And we have followed the lead of Prevent Child Abuse America on this topic. And we're kind of removing ourselves as middlemen for selling pinwheels. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. But it's environmentally, there's a lot of pushback about pinwheels and plastic blowing around and just sitting in gutters and landfills and things like that. So, not to mention the cost associated with getting pinwheels. So we are kind of removing ourselves from that. The pinwheel is still a symbol of child abuse and neglect prevention nationally. So even Prevent Child Abuse America is still acknowledging the pinwheel as a symbol. We just aren't going to be the middlemen anymore for purchasing or providing pinwheels. So Kathy has a link that she can share with anybody who wants to get the pinwheels firsthand from the vendor that we have used in the past. We do still have, I think, 18 boxes of pinwheels sitting upstairs in our office, and we're happy to share those with anybody who wants them. First come, first serve. But after that, we're not going to be selling pinwheels at all, and you can go directly to the vendor who sells them and work with them. So we're hopeful that we can find some additional creative ways to continue to utilize the symbol of the pinwheel without actually using the plastic pinwheel. So could be a yard sign, it could be a wooden pinwheel, maybe a garden flag or something of that nature, to still get the symbol of the pinwheel out there without actually putting the plastic pinwheels out. So this year's chartering will not include the free boxes of pinwheels. We also have revised every single one of our what we used to call brochures. We're now calling them quick cards. And the idea is that it's no longer a trifold brochure, which most of ours were before. And it's a card front and back, English on one side, Spanish on the other, with a QR code. And so we're trying to acknowledge the fact that most everybody carries a smartphone with them in their pocket. And if you want more information, you can click on the QR code and get information, have it delivered right to your phone, and not have to carry in your pocket anything that you would pick up at a provider fair or the like. So we're moving towards the quick cards, and so instead of the trifold brochures, you'll be getting those this year. With your chartering fees, you get a total of 800 of those quick cards in the different formats you want. So we have, I think, 12 or 13 different brochures or now quick cards available. And so whatever ones you want, they come in bundles of 50, and we'll be getting those out to you. We're in the final phases of getting those printed and translated, and we'll be getting those out to you as soon as they come to us. So 800 would come with your chartering when you charter. If you have not already done so, when you submitted your chartering paperwork, there's a request form associated with that. Please, if you've already chartered, contact Kathy. And it's kking.pcain@villages.org. And she can get you the form to order your free quick cards that come with chartering. Again, if you haven't chartered yet, make sure that you fill out that order form for your quick cards to tell us which ones you want. Maybe there's a push this year for your county to do more with water safety or firearm safety, or you want to do, a focus on just, who's an appropriate or what's an appropriate person to watch your kids. All those kind of things are available in our quick cards, and you can tell us which ones you want with that initial order. And then also, when it comes time for April and you're looking at maybe doing an April event for National Child Abuse Prevention Month, there's the availability to let us know if you want 200 additional quick cards, and we can send those out to you in April. And those are also included with the chartering. So 800 with your chartering initially, 200 available upon request is included in your chartering fees. And again, those will be all new. So hopefully everyone will reach out and request those new pieces of information. Kathy, are you waving your hand?
Yeah, on the order form that I can send to you, you can order both your chartering quick cards and your April quick cards at the same time. So it'll just be one shipment. We don't have those printed yet, so it'll probably be after the 1st of January, if not a little bit later, but you'll get it all together.
Thank you,
instead of two
Kathy.
separate orders, just to save time and shipping and that kind of thing.
I will tell you that the content of the quick cards, first of all, there's not as much on the quick card, but the QR code will take people to a PDF version on our webpage that'll have more information as well. And the quick cards are just going to have kind of a facelift, and so they'll look a little bit different. And so if, there's been some feedback that we've had that, we've seen these same brochures you've had for years and years and years, and they've looked the same. Sometimes they end up in the same spots and you almost can look right past them. And so we're hopeful that just with the facelift and some different pictures and a different format, it might get people's attention a little bit quicker and easier. So please do take advantage of that to share information and raise awareness through education on those quick cards. Let's see. Kathy said, yes, instead of brochures, our new format will be, and it just left me. Will be called Quick Card. The QR code will take anyone to the web page with an option to view the PDF per topic, print those PDFs, or they can order the quick cards. Yeah, you can go to our webpage and you can print anything yourself. And we were able to track that, and you can order from our webpage as well if you want to have additional quick cards shipped to you. And then lastly, on our web or our chartering, chartered councils get 25% off of anything they order from our shop, our PCAIN shop. So if you want lapel pins, or you want T-shirts, or you want signs, or different kinds of things like that, anything that's on our webpage in our shop, you get 25% discount for being a chartered council as well. Kathy, am I forgetting anything?
The only thing is there will not be a 25% discount on the boxes of pinwheels that are still left available. Everything else is 25% off.
Yeah, the last 18 boxes won't be discounted. So thanks, Kathy. So any questions while we're on this topic of rechartering? And if you're a processor like me and kind of takes information in and let it seep into, and make sense over time, and you can always reach out to myself or Kathy up until the end of December, but you can reach out to me after that, and we're happy to answer any questions and work with you on that. Also, just if you ever see information that we either don't have an educational quick card, but we really need to, let us know. Or if one of the quick cards we have needs to be updated or revised in some way, let us know that. And the next revision we do of those, we can try to incorporate it in. But as I said, every one of our quick cards has been updated. It was a fairly laborious process to do that, but they've all been updated. So please do take advantage of getting those. Heather has a hand up.
Yeah, real quick. And maybe you said this, Jeff. I'm taking notes. Is there, and if you have, I can easily go to the website and copy and paste this too. But is there like a document, like Kathy used to share with us, the like PDF order form? Are you really encouraging us all to go to the website and do this ordering? I would love just like I'm old school, but like a hard copy list of these topics and all that. And like, when can we get access to that?
Well, they haven't actually, we haven't put any of the quick cards or the PDFs on the website yet. That's still all in progress. We're waiting on the Spanish translation. But you would need to go.
Get access to like the list of what these topics are going to be. Because I'd just love to know like what the new list is going to look like.
What the new list might look like. Jeff, how about we put that in the next council courier? Just a list of the different quick cards that are going to be available soon.
Okay, I'll write that down.
That would just help me with the thing that Jeff just recommended, that would help me to like, I don't know what to
Process.
tell you need if I don't know what's there.
Right.
Thank
Also on the, whenever council's charter, and I send them their certificate and their, like the information email that has, things I always send to you, your certificate, your logos. It also has that chartering and April order form that would list all of the different topics.
Okay, I was wondering if that was still going to be there.
Yeah.
That's like a secondary. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And it's also on the council document page if for some reason, you don't notice it, or if you want another one, just let me know.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Good
And
question,
as far
Heather.
as
Thank you.
chartering, if you can charter before I'm gone, that would be great, because I'm not sure how long it's going to be before there'll be someone in my position that can process all of this, because there's a lot to learn. But I understand if you can't charter by the end of the month, but the more that can do it, the better off you'll be and I'll be. I'd appreciate it.
And we are, Rachel and I have worked on Kathy's job description. It is, we are posting that. We want the right person in place as soon as we can get that. We realize how important Kathy's role is to the work we do. So we are definitely looking for the right person. And if you know of anybody that might be interested, we're going to be posting that on the village's website. And so, let us know if there's someone that you think might be a great replacement for Kathy's role coming up.
Yeah, I'm hoping that will be posted by the end of the day, if not today, tomorrow. So
Fantastic. Okay, and Heather, thanks for that feedback. I appreciate that. So with the topic of rechartering, Prevent Child Abuse Indiana also has to go through rechartering every 4 years. And so we just had our site visit from Prevent Child Abuse America. So prior to them coming to see us, we had to send them reams of information. Now we did it electronically, so it wasn't physical reams of paper, but Rachel and I spent a lot of time, and then our quality assurance team helped us compile a ton of information that we sent to Prevent Child Abuse America to review and make sure that we are following all the standards that Prevent Child Abuse America has for their state chapters. And then they came out and did a day and a half of a site visit. And so we just finished that. They were here last Wednesday and Thursday of last week. And so we have passed with flying colors. So thank you to all of you that help the work that we do. Prevent Child Abuse America kind of recognizes that we do a really good job, and they also provided some great feedback and ideas for just continuing to grow and develop. So it was not just they're coming and checking if all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed, but they gave us some ideas on how we might just improve the work we do to expand our reach and really promote the work of primary child abuse prevention. So very positive visit, and you are all a big part of that for sure. So if you don't know, Prevent Child Abuse America is the national organization, and they have 47 chapters across the country, 46 states, and the District of Columbia that are chartered councils. And Prevent Child Abuse Indiana is the Indiana state chapter of Prevent Child Abuse America. And then we have all of our local councils, which you represent. So we get to make sure that the message of child abuse prevention gets to the local level and is really informed and consumed by our local counties. And so that's the way we want it. We know there's no top-down approach for this. We all have different ways that child abuse and neglect shows up in our counties. And so each council gets to kind of focus on the issues that are most pertinent to their communities. And we're grateful for that. All right. Let's see. We're at 12:32. I won't keep you past 1:30, I promise. Kathy put in the chat, PCAIN has been chartered state chapter of PCA America since 1977. So we're approaching 50 years as a chartered council, which is, that's fantastic. We have coming up, so this April, so I mentioned April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. If you're kind of new to the world of primary child abuse prevention, that's kind of our Christmas holiday, so to speak. We get a lot of opportunity to talk about child abuse prevention, to raise awareness, to really help people understand that, yes, child abuse, there's a dark underbelly to that, but there's positive ways and feel good ways that we can impact that through the work of protective factors and positive childhood experiences and things like that. So we really want to promote the work that we do, and April gives us that opportunity. And so this year we have reached out to the Indiana State House, and we have reserved the State House for our kickoff event in April. It'll be on April 1st. It'll be at the State House. And we would love to have a significant presence at the State House to join us for that day. So we don't have the exact times, but I would hazard a guess it'll probably be during the morning. And we'll have one of the kind of the wings of the main floor of the State House available to us, and we'll have speakers. We're endeavoring to get the new governor to speak at the event, and we'll have other speakers there as well. And we are trying to get legislators as well to come down to our event, and so that our councils will be able to engage legislators from their locales at that event too. So we are hopeful that you'll block it off on your calendar for April 1st, and that you'll come to Indy with us, and we'll get to, we get the message of child abuse prevention and primary child abuse prevention and out and kind of across the State House and to the legislators who help make our laws for our state. And so we're happy to be able to do that. And we had a little bit of head start this year in planning that. So April 1st, we'll be at the State House, and please plan to join us. We'll be communicating more details as we get them. All right. The other thing to keep in mind with that is that whenever there's a governor change, it trickles down across the state. All of the governor has oversight now of all of the state agencies, I think, except for the attorney general. But he has oversight and gets to appoint the people he wants to in his different state agencies. So a change in governor can often mean a change in a lot of the work and priorities of the state agencies. So if you've been through changes like this in the past, you realize that sometimes there's a bit of a lag or a bit of a limbo trying to figure out what's the new priority for the governor. And so this April in particular will be important for us to show up at the State House and let them know how important child abuse prevention is to us in Indiana. So please do, put that on your calendar, hold that time, and we'll look to really try to make a significant presence in a very positive way at the State House on April 1st. Right. And so something I've mentioned in the past, and we are currently continuing to develop this, is a partnership that Prevent Child Abuse Indiana has with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And so their acronym NECMEC is popular or known to some of you, but they do a lot of work in the area of digital safety and internet safety and things like that. If there's issues related to child enticement online or even human trafficking and you want to report it, they have a hotline you can report to. They work with many states who have internet crimes against children units as part of their state police. And so Prevent Child Abuse Indiana has a partnership with them. I know some of you as individual councils may also have a partnership with NECMEC, but we are trying to build into that partnership and connect with the Indiana State Police in addressing their training needs. They get so many requests for training on internet safety and digital media and things like that. And they cannot satisfy or meet all of those training request needs. And so we are well situated with our local child abuse prevention councils to build capacity to become aware and to train on issues of internet safety. And so what we are doing is this partnership with NECMEC is we're using their curricula and we are getting trained in that. And then we are building kind of a cadre of trainers that are available to help train in your area. And so what we would like to do is if your particular council is able and has capacity to do this, we'd love for people to get trained in the NECMEC curricula and be able to provide digital media, training around internet safety, human trafficking resources, things like that. All of those are available through NECMEC. You don't have to come up with your own curricula. They have done that. They work in this field all the time, and they are constantly updating their information and making the information available. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has a great webpage, has tons of information on it. So you should know when you go to the webpage to be prepared to be overwhelmed because there's so much information there, but it's great because they've done most of the heavy lifting for us. And they also update it on a regular basis. So the issue of internet safety and digital media safety changes so quickly that it's hard to keep track of it. And the professionals at NECMEC really make the job a little easier, but they need people to help them get the message out across our state. So we are in connection with the Indiana State Police and their Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, and we are talking to them about we are building some capacity to help address this issue of training needs. And so we would love to have, in our perfect world idea, trainers equipped across our state so that no matter where the Indiana State Police get requests for training, that we could say, oh, we have a council in that area and they've got people trained. We'll have someone get in touch with you. So we are working on that and looking to build that capacity. Some of our folks, such as Melissa Peregrine and Megan Bannett from our Hamilton County Council and the Indiana Center for Youth Abuse and Suicide, they've been doing this work for a while. And we're just kind of coming alongside them to add our voice to what they've already been doing and looking at expanding our resources in that area. So I just wanted to revisit that, tell you what we're doing. We know that councils may already have a relationship with NECMEC, and that's fine. You don't have to be partnered through us. But if you want to forego having your own relationship and your own partnership agreement, which you have to update every year and things like that, we are happy to allow you to use ours through PCAIN. And then quarterly, we'll just need to know what trainings are done using the NECMEC material if you're part of our partnership agreement with NECMEC, so we can report on that. And I think I saw a hand from maybe Stephanie Gardner. Is that correct?
Yep. So I wanted to just touch base and let you know Hancock County now has 3 trainers that completed the training last week. And actually that was a train the trainer event. And so we are now going to be all able to actually train other trainers so that not everyone has to be trained by NECMEC directly. But I know you said there were Melissa and someone else from Hamilton County. I would love if they happen to be in here, if we could connect. I would love to see someone do one of these trainings in person once before I jump out in there. And also, I somehow became president of my child's PTA with my mind distracted. I was voted in without even knowing it. And I just wanted to let everybody know that may be great partnerships also for this, because National PTA has a huge push right now on digital safety. And they're providing grants and things to their councils to provide trainings provided by Google and Norton. And so that may be a really good connection to that, just to get in the doors of some of these schools and to reach the kids and families. So I just wanted to share that because our new PTA got a grant to do an internet safety training, and so now I've got even that behind me, but we're gonna have those opportunities, and I realized how big of a push National PTA is making through that process. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Well, Stephanie, thanks for jumping in with both feet there, both on the council and with the internet safety and with your PTA, unbeknownst to you. But we're thankful for your presence and doing that. And Heather put in the chat, we are working on having Megan, I assume that's Megan Bennett, come and present at a Future Stars meeting. And Megan did that for us too. She came and presented to us, and we watched her do that training because it is a ton of material. And she doesn't, most of her trainings for that material, for the community-based NECMEC presentation, are about an hour. So she doesn't use every single slide they provide you, but they give you plenty to fill the time with. And so Megan is a great resource. And Melissa is Megan's colleague and boss at the Indiana Center. She shared at one of our recent Prevent Child Abuse Indiana Advisory Committee meetings, I think there was a 2,000% increase in the rate of child enticement over the past couple of years. Is that right, Melissa? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, you caught me off guard. So say that again.
You told us at our recent Prevent Child Abuse Indiana advisory committee meeting, that you had a recent stat about there being like a 2,000% increase in rates of child enticement online.
Well, so what I said was we have had a 2,000% increase in the number of people that we have trained in. So for us, it is the fastest growing thing that we do. We've trained 10,000 kids already this year. It is the thing that people reach out and ask us about because we know that 1 in 5 kids is enticed online. So, and that's where they are, right? I have a 16-year-old son. That's where he is. He lives in that world. And so that NECMEC training is for, I saw a question in the chat, are geared towards parents and to kids. We're actually starting a program we are calling Tech Talks, which is for teens and their parents. We'll see how successful that is, but you got to try new things and try to reach people. But online enticement went up 97% between 2019 and 2020. So we all know that's when we sent all of our kids online to do everything. And so that just made it just a right opportunity for predators. So it's really important training.
Thank you for clarifying too. So 2,000% number, the increase in number of people you've trained recently, and the number just keeps going up. And so the Indiana State Police has partnered with Melissa and Megan and their group, but they need more people to join their ranks. So it would be ideal if we knew where trained folks are around the state, and if the Indiana State Police says, look, we need somebody in Monroe County, and we say, okay, we've got folks down there or nearby, we can have them respond, that would be a great thing. And I don't foresee this ever not being an issue in our world today.
Jeff and Kathy noted it in the chat, but also, we have staff at PCAIN that are trained as well. So our hope is we'll be kind of the fillers. So where there isn't a council present, or maybe a council hasn't yet been trained, then PCAIN staff could fill in and do those trainings in those areas. But the more council involvement that we have, the more folks that we can train and get the message out as well. So hopefully we will have interest from councils across the state. So reach out if you have questions, and we'll be happy to connect as well. And I see a hand went up, but really quick before, I'm going to go backwards just a little bit because I have to hop off and go to another meeting, but wanted to revisit the conversation about the kickoff at the State House on April 1st. We're really encouraging, I know Jeff said this already, but would really love to see council participation because we hope to have district specific data that we can share with your legislators so that there is a draw for those legislators to come down and participate in the kickoff event. And our advocacy a person that we have at the villages shared with us the best way to get people to participate or to get legislators to participate is by personal invitation from their constituents. And so as we get closer and details come out about what that day is really going to look like, we would love it if you or others on your council could personally invite your legislators, and then hopefully then we'll have participation from a lot of the legislators that we can really get out the message of prevention and share the importance of work in prevention in the state of Indiana. And like I said, I mean, you're welcome to, if you know your legislator and you want to go ahead and put the bug in their ear that there's going to be an event on April 1st, that would be great. But also I understand waiting until the specific details are out for what that day is going to look like, but we would love to have your collaboration with that event as well.
Thanks, Rachel. And Michelle Zaremba, I see your hand up.
Yeah, just real quick, I wanted to know who's the best person for us to reach out to if we have, excuse me, members on our council that are interested in doing this NECMEC training through your partnership agreement. Who's the best person to contact with you guys?
You can contact me.
Okay.
And I will be happy to talk and we can figure out kind of a plan. Again, I don't want to misrepresent that every council can have their own partnership agreement with NECMEC. That's not a problem. And we don't want to stand in the way of that. But if you want to just do it and not have to have your own partnership agreement, which you have to update and do every single year, then we are happy to let you use ours. And we have confirmed that with NECMEC that that's okay. But as the partnership organization, we have to do a quarterly report on how many people, how many trainings have been done under our partnership agreement. So we have to do that. And so we have to know who's doing them outside of their own partnership agreement so that NECMEC knows across the board how many trainings have been done.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff.
And Melissa, could I ask you one more question?
You can ask me as many questions as you would like.
All right. Well, that's a carte blanche thing, huh?
Okay, maybe I'll put some caveats on that then.
So so the Indiana Center for the Prevention of Youth Abuse and Suicide, you have on your website, you schedule regular trainings and people can go there and find out when the trainings are and just sign up to participate. So would you mind sharing in the chat the address for your website?
Absolutely. And then just as people get trained, so Jeff, you mentioned that we are the community education partner with the Indiana State Police, the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. So when they get requests from across the state for digital safety training, they forward those to us. And we compile a list of all the organizations, all the trainers, because we only can do this. I mean, we pretty much do in-person training within a 50-mile radius of our headquarters in Carmel. So anything outside of that, we're always looking for partners of people that are willing to do it in that community, because then they can do trainings every month. They can do them regularly so that the message is getting out. So if you are doing that and you can pass that information along to us, your name and contact information, we will do a warm handoff for you when we get those training requests. So we will reach out to you and connect you with the person in your area that is trying to get this training scheduled. But yes, I will put our website into the chat.
Thank you, Melissa. And again, we didn't want to step on anyone's toes, so we went to Melissa and Megan and said, "You've been doing this already. Are you okay if we kind of join you in this work? Don't want to step on your toes." And there was no sense of, there being any sort of we had this first or anything like that. It was, we need all hands on deck, and we need more hands available to meet the need.
Absolutely.
And it just so happens, believe it or not, that Melissa and Megan and myself have a conversation right after this meeting to talk about this exactly. How do we put together a list, and how do we make sure there's kind of a central place where people can call in? So the police call in, let us know what the needs are, and then we can get it out as quickly as possible to the people that are trained across the state. So it's alive and it's active, and right now we can't meet the need. So hopefully adding voices will help us do that. And then later this week, we have a meeting with the Indiana State Police to talk more about how this is progressing too. So it's exciting, but we really need to have as many people available as possible to get the kids and families trained, and hopefully keep kids safe from the predators they go where the kids are. And that is the sad thing about this. They are looking for every loophole that we're missing to get access to our kids. And so we have to try to blanket them and cover them and keep them safe with this information. All right, Melissa, thank you for putting that in the chat. So it is in the chat, the website, and you can go there, and they have training scheduled, and you can sign up for them. Many are virtual, some are hybrid. Are you still doing some in person, Melissa, too? Okay.
Yeah, we just kind of vary it so that we can make it accessible to as many people as possible. But those trainings on our website are all free to anyone in the state of Indiana.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. So any more questions about the partnership with NECMEC, why we're doing this, and how we're trying to make an impact in the state of Indiana through this work? Okay. I do know from my meetings with Prevent Child Abuse America and other state partners, this is not an issue that's unique to Indiana. It's a pervasive issue across our country. I'm guessing it's a worldwide issue, and so we just got to band together, and our collective impact can, in fact, have a positive impact on this. But if we're just doing it in silos, our impact will be probably less obvious. So I'm just hoping that by linking arms together in this effort, we can really make a significant difference in equipping people with the knowledge to be careful, to develop positive relationships with your kids, have regular conversations, ask them what's new, what's different, what's out there. And so that's the biggest thing, is just engage with your kids, have that positive relationship, and know in the back of your mind that there's, the bad guys are out there looking for ways in, and we got to stop that before it happens. All right. We talked about Kathy's retirement. I'm so sorry about this, but she is leaving. Unfortunately, she's left an indelible impression with all the work she's done. So, just if you don't want to publicly today, maybe send her an individual email saying thanks. It was great to know you and meet you, collaborate with you in the work you're doing, and wish her well. That would be great. And it's kking.pcain@villages.org is her email. And then my favorite part of this meeting is just listening to what's going on with our councils around the state. And you understand that you don't have to have all the new ideas, unique to yourself. You can listen and beg, borrow, and steal from other people. And so I'd love to just open this up for the last third of our meeting. What's going on around the state? And it could be things like fundraising. It could be things like events that are going on or have recently happened. And tell us what's new and interesting, and even ask questions of our other councils. We have a lot of great minds on this meeting, and we're happy to help each other out. So the floor is open. Take yourself off of mute and please share with us.
know there have been some people, this is Melissa Peregrine from the Hamilton County. I know some of you have in the past done t-shirts and sold those. I'm wondering if you had those printed, made a whole bunch of them and sold them that way, or if you did a print and ship on demand kind of service. I'm just curious.
Well, the past few years we have asked, like we put a kind of an order deadline in ahead of time so that we could get them in by before April 1st. So, and then we also planned though to have a second batch come in. So if we had extra orders, we were prepared to just spend a little bit more per shirt to get those last ones in. But we were really encouraging everybody to get orders in ahead of time so that we could place the order and know t-shirt sizes, because right, it's like impossible to know, or make them, generic enough that they could be used throughout the rest of the year if needed for other things. But yeah, that's how we did it.
Did you do that as a fundraiser, or just your council members bought t-shirts for their organizations?
It was a fundraiser. So the t-shirts, I think they ended up being about $10 to print, and we sold them for $25.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any other or different experiences with t-shirt printing?
I have a thought just related to that, and I don't know, what we're thinking, but every year for Child Abuse Prevention Month, CASA has a state house event, and usually the state organization kind of creates a template for a t-shirt that we can all order, and it helps to create the visual impact of the sea of blue CASA emblems in the state house, also for the people who are too busy to stop and talk, but to see just a quick visual of how big of an issue this is to people. This many people showed up. I don't know if that's something we want to think about. I know that I've heard from like Mike Kreider, who's one of the senators here, when he's been unable to stop, he always just says it's a big deal to him to see that sea of blue there, and he knows that it's still a big thing for us all.
Great comment, Stephanie. I like that. Anybody else t-shirt kind of ideas or thoughts? Okay. Others who want to share information related to things that have happened recently or things you have upcoming, collaboration opportunities, anything like that?
I just want to say we had our second annual gala in November here in Carroll White County. We had an excellent speaker. He was amazing and was very much able to kind of bring some good information to everybody there. But this is something we started last year, and it's kind of growing, and it was wonderful and amazing. And it was a great way to not only get information out, but to raise money. We don't have our totals yet because, life. But I know just on our silent auction, we had almost $2,000 just from that. So we haven't even yet counted like the donations, our ticket sales and all that kind of stuff. So super excited about how that worked out and that opportunity to, raise money and awareness all in one shot.
Michelle, thanks for doing that. And if you haven't been to the Opera House in Delphi, it's such a cool place. I guess it sat vacant for a long, long time, like almost 100 years.
Yes.
Well, I think it's 100 years old, but it sat vacant for a long time, and they restored it. And it's small, it's intimate, it's beautiful, and it was a great place for an event. So.
Yes, and they were kind enough to donate that space to us. It's normally it would have cost like $1,000, just to have the space, forget about everything else. But they were just fantastic. We're lucky. We've had a lot of support up here with the 2 years we've done this. So we're hoping next year. My friend is one of the owners of the Madame Carroll, which is, the largest boat in Indiana. And so we're hoping we can have it on the Madame Carroll, that I can con him with some information I have from when he was a child into donating that space as well. So
thanks for sharing, Michelle.
Marion County, kind of some updates from us. There's a really great organization that is under the umbrella of the Indy Department of Safety or Public Safety. They're called the Indy Center for Conflict Resolution. And so one of the things they do is they will provide free mediation for things like neighborhood disputes. They don't do anything around divorces and things like that. But we invited them to really take us through a great presentation at one of our last STARS meetings. A few of our members have went through the mediator process to become trained certified mediators to kind of help with that work being done in the community. And they just do a lot of great presentations on conflict resolution, de-escalation, healthy communication. So we're excited about that. Under that Indy Public Safety umbrella, there's also a newer organization called Indy Champions, which is really working on a specific targeted zip codes around domestic violence. And we want to get those folks in. And of course, the amazing folks over at Indiana Center for Prevention, we want to get Megan over to talk to us about NICMIC and the internet safety stuff too. The other thing we are really wanting to learn more about, and Marion County Commission for Youth hosted a great training, was Senate Enrolled Act 282, which is kind of tweaked and kind of made some adjustments to the attendance laws in Indiana. And so I thought just what McCoy's done on that and the information they're putting out is really phenomenal for like the schools and for parents and for social service providers. We got to hear from the social worker from the Marion County Prosecutor's Office too, to kind of help us to know how we can be supporting families with these new laws, because they are really in many ways have the potential to target low income families that are struggling financially and a lot of different barriers they might be facing. It may unfairly really impact a lot of families that many of us probably serve. So like I said, if that isn't on your radar, it went into effect July 1, and it's Senate Enrolled Act 282. I think those are just the last thing I'll share is also met with Angie at Project Period. So locally we see a access issue around feminine hygiene period, aka period products. And so we have reached out to some, and then also Project Period. They really were phenomenal. We found out that they are connected, like at the national level, they are connected to the Indiana Diaper Bank, or like the Diaper Bank national equivalent. And so they're wanting to partner with locally in Indiana, they're wanting to partner and establish a relationship in 2025 with the Indiana Diaper Bank, which I'm interested to see how that goes about. So yeah, those are just some things that we've been kind of working on and looking at here locally.
So Heather, those resources you mentioned in Marion County, like McCoy and the others, will they do virtual presentations, I assume, for different places around the state?
Yeah, I believe so. So Kate Relecki, she actually just had her new beautiful baby girl. So she's on maternity leave. I'm not too sure how long she's out. But she really was but I know other folks on her team were also involved with this. I'm sure that they would be, I don't know if that was recorded, but the one we did attend was virtual. So I'm not sure if that was recorded. I'm not sure but yeah, I think it'd be worth reaching out and finding out more, because McCoy does have for a long time, in the similar sentiment that I know PCAIN is working on, they've had a dedicated staff really paying close attention to state legislature and how it impacts families. So that might be the person we want to maybe get connected to this group. I'm sure she has a fantastic newsletter that she puts out every legislative period of the bills that they're tracking and updates and considerations on reaching out to your legislatures and things like that. So this group might want to get connected to their legislative director over at McCoy.
And I know Sarah Johnson has kind of in the past year been connected with Covering Kids and Families, and they have a legislative person that does a lot of work there to keep us, aware of what's kind of percolating with legislation. It's not everyone's cup of tea, But some people, it certainly is. And there are the person that covering kids and families, she's wonderful, but she lives and breathes this stuff, and it energizes her. So there are people like that around, and we can connect with them. Uh, as I think Rachel said earlier, we have a lobbyist at the villages that goes in there and tries to be aware of what we are interested in and tries to kind of let us know, hey, this is coming up, or this bill has changed, or this bill didn't make it through committee, things like that. So, and we've also added some resources to our council webpage for people that want to do more work in that area. So to take your voice of advocacy and the work you do with prevention and awareness, and then put it into kind of a legislative format to make your legislators aware. So, Sarah, is there anything else that maybe I could? Anything else that you would say about the Covering Kids and Families group and legislation?
No, just that they do give at least like an annual update where they kind of present on what's going on. Usually it's during the legislative session, but I did put in the chat, hopefully that sent to everyone, the contact information for Amy in case anyone has questions specific to, well, specifically Indiana insurance programs. But, since she's at the State House, she also is familiar with a lot of other policies that are impacting Indiana families. But yeah, I don't know that I have too much else on that. But I was going to say Dunebrook also has been starting to work with, in LaPorte County, one of our school systems on attendance. So I was glad to hear about the McCoy initiative. But yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. One thing I want to put out there too, related to our kickoff event on the 1st of April at the State House is we've talked about we're going to have speakers and we're going to have legislators and kind of tables with some data for different areas of Indiana, so legislators can see the reason that we're advocating for these things. Are there things that you think we should include in that event to make it more impactful? And if something pops to the top of your mind, let us know now, or if it comes to your mind later, let us know, because we want to make that event as useful as possible.
Yeah, I think the people that you're going to mostly be trying to reach with this when it comes to our legislators, the governor, and that sort of thing, we're talking about those people that deal in numbers, right? So, having numbers for individual legislators of their areas, right? Knowing exactly how it is. I know a lot of our DCS organizations up here right now are dealing with, housing kids in their offices because there's not enough foster care placements and that sort of thing. So, maybe specific issues that we're dealing with right now, whether it be that or the issue with the online enticement that we were talking about previously. So, I think that again, the target audience with this not only deals in numbers and wanting to see numbers, but also, wants specifics. The general, we want to, prevent child abuse. Okay, well, what does that mean? What's happening? What are the issues? What are the specific issues that we should be dealing with and looking at legislature for and that sort of thing?
Thank you, Michelle. If you're not familiar with the Indiana framework for the prevention of child abuse and neglect, which came out a couple of years ago, there are 4 databases identified within that document that are databases that can be drilled down to the local level to find out what issues are pertinent in your county. And so you don't have to, you don't have to go out and do a bunch of research yourself. These are databases that already exist. You can go in and put your information in, and it will give you information for your county that you can then look at and say, wow, we want our legislator to know this is important for us here, and this is why. So that already exists. And that's that's the Indiana's framework for the prevention of child abuse and neglect, which is available on the DCS website. If you don't have access to that, I'd be happy to share some information with you. Other things to share. We got about 18 minutes left.
So Hancock for Kids, excuse me, Mikkel has been with us for quite a while, and she is leaving as our co-director. Her husband got a job opportunity in Oregon, and I am getting ready to take over her role as co-director. And just last year, we had someone take over for Diane Merlau as co-director, and so we're going to have 2 new people kind of at the helm in Hancock County starting in January. And I know one of the things we've been talking about a lot is we kind of felt like we had kind of gotten a little stagnant, and we had just been kind of pushing on these same like nurturing parenting classes and topics. And so that's how we kind of found the digital safety route. And I would love to hear if anybody has anything to share on what they feel like have been their most appreciated or effective kind of prevention measures, because I don't think prevention in 2025 is going to look anything like prevention looked in 2010 or 2015, because the world is so digital and kids are growing up so much more quickly, and there is, there's a lot of things happening. And so I would just love, as we're trying to figure out what we want to do going forward as a council, we definitely picked digital safety as a big point for us. What are the other councils doing? How are you reaching your communities in a way that's having an impact, I guess?
Mm.
Or maybe we all feel that way.
Well, and just know that question, that's a great question, Stephanie. Thank you for doing that, for sharing that. If you are, again, the processor, then please, know that we'd be happy to share that kind of information out there. If you have other topics, other curricula that you found successful, like I know I'm looking at Crystal right now. Not Today has put together a coalition from around the state of people that are doing work in the area of child sexual abuse. And so if you are interested in getting more into that sort of realm, they've gotten people together from all around the state who are doing this work to try to spur each other on to bigger and better things and more impact. So that's a great group to be aware of, and they can tell you who's doing the work in your area, or if nobody's doing the work in your area, maybe you want to join that coalition. But that's one thing that comes to mind are things like that. And that they a whole bunch of different curricula used. So it's not just Stewards of Children, it's not just Monique Burr, but there's a whole bunch of other curricula that are represented in that coalition and the work they do. There's some more things in the chat here. Crystal put Emma, she's the person from Not Today who's kind of coordinating that group. And Emma Marsh would be happy to, kind of talk to you more about that if that's an interest to you. And then they also have a great book, the booklet they put out. It's like a 8 or 10 page booklet for schools, I think, about, why do educational or sexual abuse education? How is it useful? What's important? What to know? So there's a great resource out there as well. Kathy put a link in about that. I think it's the Not Today webpage in the chat too.
I haven't been through the NetSmarts. I mean, I've perused the information, but I look forward to Megan speaking to our council. But I have a 10-year-old, and so we had a situation last year in her 4th grade and it's just become an ongoing thing. group chat. And so it got really out of hand. And I was the whistleblower that went to the school and said, hey, this is going on. My spidey senses are going off, that this could soon like go off the rails. And I'm already sensing potential issues at hand. I was trying to be really proactive. So then I kind of like tapped in the principal and the school guidance counselor to then send out information to all the fourth graders about not pinpointing, not finger pointing, but like, hey, we have been notified that there's some group chat starting, and here's all this great information for you parents to review about what group chats are, how their developing minds might kind of feel like some like fear of missing out / oh my gosh, I have to be like, on my device because there's like, it was non-going. I mean, at one time she had 1,000 notifications. And so I was like, I felt really like I got my gold star that day, like being really proactive at going to the school and saying like, this is going on. And then also like educating my peer and my sphere of influence, borrowing that phrase from Darkness to Light, of how to be more like in the know and monitoring. I'm that parent that hops on my daughter's device and says, hey, just FYI, Harper's mom is here monitoring all this. So let's keep it nice, because I am almost seeing like a precursor to what could happen down the road with like sexting and things like that. And so I'm trying to do what I can, not even thinking yet, Jeff, about the predators that are out there, but even their interpersonal kind of development happening on devices now. So anyway, I don't know if that's covered in NetSmarts. I assume it probably is, but anecdotally, that's what's happening in my parenting world. And I love how sometimes these things interconnect and intermix.
NetSmarts is cool because it teaches the kids to keep themselves safe online. So it has like different videos, and like the kids when they want to play the video games, and it has little video games, and it goes all the way down into, I think, like second grade. Like if the schools, like I've contacted all of them in my region, and they say that they have things that they offer. And so I just occasionally, especially at the start of the school year, and then right before we have like school breaks, I send stuff to the principals, remind like you can go here, and like it can just be something the kids do in their computer class. It could be stuff that you send home, and then I'm constantly sending out those links on our PCA pages. But my kids, they wanted a phone. Well, you have to do all this. Well, I want to play Roblox. Can I put it on my phone? Well, you're going to have to go to this site and complete these games, and they'll play them. And the really little ones, they just have like the cartoon videos to watch. I've used NetSmarts for a long time.
Thanks, Tasha, for sharing that. NetSmarts has other things too, like even posters. They have things that you can go online and posters, regarding sexting or different kinds of things. So they have tons of resources. It's not just whole training curricula. It's ways to get people's attention that, hey, this is a big issue, and do you know about this? And as I said, if I try to boil it down, the biggest thing that I've gotten from NetSmarts is you got to have relationships with your kids, and you have to ask and talk and show them that you're interested. And if you aren't doing that, then somebody else in your family should be doing that and connecting with them. And if you're not, then your kids will find other people to share and connect with. And if they don't know them, that's a scary thing. And you think about parenting, how most of us learned to parent, it was from the influence of our own parents. But most of us and our parents don't know about the internet. It's all brand new. So we're exploring new, we're kind of pioneering new understanding and new ways, and our kids are at the forefront of this. So how do we join them in this and just understanding it? And it's often great to have your kids teach you something. So you can say, sit down, show me what's new on the internet. I'm so old fashioned. I don't know any of this stuff. And they like to be able to show mom and dad stuff. And it just opens that door of communication, which it seems to be one of the bedrock things that NECMEC it preaches. Okay, we got less than 10 minutes left, so keep sharing if you want to. This is great. We have in the chat, Captain Compassion is a great tool. or grade 2. It's from Canada. And there's the link there for bullying prevention information. Great. And then the Moore Center. Go ahead, Sarah.
I was just gonna say and others might already know this, and I'm just behind, but I recently found with the Strengthening Families Institute, they have a free training on the protective factors, and I think it ends up being about 13 hours, but it's a lot of helpful information on prevention. And they also have a train the trainer one that you can do, but I was starting with just the other one. But I'll put that link in the chat in case anyone over Christmas break feels like spending some time on a training.
Thank you. And Heather, I think you are a certified trainer for protective factors, aren't you?
Yes, several of us that are in leadership roles at Firefly with our community partners team, we use the it's I should know this, but it is the Children's Trust Fund. I believe that's the title of the organization that we're trained on that model. I know there's a few others out there. I wanted to also give a quick plug to, I think I've shared this with Jeff before, Caltrin, so like CALTRIN. They do a lot of great things, modules about protective factors. And then another group that community partners, it's where our funds like funnel down from. They're called, the acronym is the word FRIENDS. They also have a fantastic online library for protective factor knowledge building. And I can look those up and put those in the chat too.
Thank you, Heather. And Sarah did put in the chat the resource prosolutionstraining.com, strengthening families. And then there's like the HOPE framework, which just deals with positive childhood experiences. That's another good one. That they're understanding the impact of positive things in children's lives as a great mitigator for, kind of combating adversity in kids' lives. So the more kind of almost the better kind of a bank of positive activities that can really help to weigh in a positive direction against adversity for a child's future. And that's the HOPE framework that does that. Heather put in www.caltrin.org. Thanks, Heather. All right, we have 5 minutes left. We're going to be cut off. So anybody else want to share? Okay, well,
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff, I sent you an email, but I am doing a thesis research project for my master's in psychology. If you don't mind disseminating that to the larger group, but I would appreciate anybody even on this call to share that with anybody they know is an educator in Indiana or school counselor, school social worker. My thesis is on mandated reporting trainings.
Well, one thing I would tell you right away is if you haven't delved into the Lean on Me program, that's a good one. It really tries to take this idea of surveillance, which some people can feel like, when if I'm reporting, and then we're just pointing the finger and surveilling people, and it tries to transform that into a culture of support and caring and community protection. So it's called Lean on Me, and they've done it in several different states. I know New Jersey, Kentucky, Arizona have been big in that. So that'd be a good one to look at. For it goes way beyond mandated reporting.
I just want to offer Crystal some soul support here. I'm working on my master's dissertation on supervised parent contact centers. So I feel you right now in trying to recruit study participants.
And Crystal, you said I can just forward this as it is, the email you sent, and okay. I will do that. Next thing I'll tell you, the last thing I'll tell you really is our next meeting is going to be in March of 2025. So get used to writing 25 because it's coming fast. And we're going to look at every 3 months. So March, June, September, and December are going to be our scheduled statewide council webinars. Just so we're having a regular contact, and we'll get specific dates out, but March, June, September, and December next year are when we're going to be targeting our statewide council webinars. I also wanted just to thank Jara because she did invite some friends, which was fantastic. So in southern Indiana and Vanderburgh County particularly, they're kind of going to go through a transition of leadership for their council. But Jara has identified Holly's House as kind of the next group that's going to come into leadership for those councils in Vanderburgh, Warwick, and Gibson counties. And so Vanderburgh County had kind of reached out to Warwick and Gibson and put their arm around them and said, we're going to kind of help incubate and grow a council in your areas. But Jara had the forethought too of saying, at some point, I'm going to run out of my ability to continue to lead this. So she's reached out to Holly's House, and they're taking this year to kind of get them up to speed so that when Jara steps back next year, they've got some good resources in place. So if you're in leadership for your council and you don't have a succession plan in place, think about that, because we never know when life happens and we can't do the work anymore. And it's always nice to know the work you've started is going to be carried on by somebody else when you have to step back. So, all right. Well, thanks everyone. We got a minute left, so we're going to get out on time. I appreciate all the work that you do, and look forward to being in touch in the new year. Have a great holiday.